my god. I mean, we can just go on and on about Mario Party, and then, but you grew up playing games like what is it, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Super NES? I take it.
Go back even a little further.
Really?
When I was 10 years old, I had the Atari 2600, and I'm kind of showing my age with that comment.
Wow.
I had the Atari 2600.
So you practically remember the video game crash of 1983 when it happened.
Not so much really because I was not very newsy or something. And of course, we didn't have internet or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting.
And I had a bunch of games, and it's not like it's not like video games ever even were what Nintendo when the NES came out, what they kind of became. They were just kind of there. You could very regularly, and it just part of the video game industry. They didn't have all the like with Nintendo games. They started having the Nintendo seal of approval. You had to get approved through the company, like today. So any company could make any game. And if anybody has ever watched Angry Video Game Nerd videos, there he did a couple of segments about some Atari 2600 games that actually came out that are just wow, that existed. Like we're talking, there were some Atari 2600 games that were like sexually based.
What?
Yes,
Are you
yes,
serious?
yes. There's like sex. I mean, they're not. I mean, it's Atari 2600. It's not like visual graph, but like the theme of the game is like sexually based. Like there's one where you're like Custer, I think it is,
Oh my
and you need to
god.
try to get across the bottom of the screen while these arrows are falling from the screen. And on the other side of the screen is like a pilgrim girl, and if you get over there, he basically boinks her.
Oh my god.
I kid you not. Look up, like, go to Angry Video Game Nerd and probably put in sex games or something like. And there are some that are there's even worse than that.
Oh my god.
But that's because they didn't have that approval thing, and so anybody could make a game, and that's why there's so many bad games. That's part of why the industry crashed. It wasn't just because of the ET game, the most famous one.
Yeah.
It's just because there were a lot of bad games. Any company could just put a game out there and just sell it, and you could go to any bargain bin. Most of the games I had at the time came from bargain bins, just because you could go into your like uh, drugstore or something, and they have the little bargain bin in front. You can get games for $1 or $2.
Even back in those days, really?
Oh yeah,
Oh my god.
10, $20 were like higher game, but you could always get in a bargain bin. You didn't know what you were getting half the time because again, anybody could make anything.
Wow. See, now I mean, I knew it was bad, but I didn't realize it was that bad.
But as a kid, hell, 10 years old, it's like you're just playing games. You look back on it. People today, it's just like with any technology. You look back and go, how could you survive with that? It's like, well, that was new at the time. You look at the NES, and hell, I mean, those games are still fun today. But when you look at it, the graphics and all that kind of thing, but when it was new, it was amazing. It's like the Xbox One today.
Yeah, I saw the graphics for 2K16 and I'm like, "Wow, it looks so freaking real." But then
Yeah.
but then when I look at the crappy games like you were talking about, and then I look at Super Mario Brothers, the original, tell me about it.
Oh, I'm just gonna say, you can tell it's older because it's pixel style, simple graphics. But and some gamers, and I always hate when gamers, the first thing they do when they see a preview for like a new game, oh, look at the graphics, they look horrible. Okay, that's only a small part of the equation. Because Super Mario Brothers is an example. Sure, it's dated, but don't tell me if you started playing it today, don't tell me you wouldn't sit there and play it for probably 10, 20, 30 minutes or more.
I would.
Because it's fun. It plays well, it's solid, and it's fun. That's the key.
Yeah, games need to be fun. If I didn't have fun with my, Smash game or or my wrestling series or any game for that matter, I wouldn't play it.
Bingo.
It's as simple as that, and you hit it on the head again.
And Nintendo seems to be the master of what I like to look at in terms of graphics. Do the graphics fit the game? If it's kind of a fun game or something, so what if it's like cartoony Mario graphics or something? If it fits the game you're playing, be it Mario Party or whatever it is, hey, if it fits and it's a fun game to play, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
That's like whenever you have an E3 event every year and they show you a trailer for a video game. 9 times out of 10, whenever I see a trailer, I'm just not impressed. Not because of the visuals, but because it's like, it doesn't really show you the gameplay. Hell, that could just be the opening cinematic that doesn't show you anything about the gameplay.
Oh yeah, I mean,
How can you judge a game just from a cinematic that you hand created?
yeah, just like what is it? When Wind Waker came out,
Yes.
like people were disappointed that they were expecting like uh they were expecting like a full size
Realistic
Link.
graphics?
Yeah, realistic, somewhat realistic graphics, but yeah, realistic graphics, but they were not expecting a cartoony, cell shaded graphics for what Wind Waker later became. But Wind Waker is fun.
And those graphics worked. I remember when I was playing it with a friend of mine, and it's like, again, it's like if you just look at a preview video and you're like, oh, that looks terrible. But when you play it, the characters move extremely smooth. Sure, it's got that cell shaded, but it works and it creates its own universe.
And it was a good one. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And and then of course eventually we did get Twilight Princess, which is a great game. And I guess you can say that Skyward Sword is kind of in the middle a little bit, but it leans more towards the realistic. But even so, I love the art style of that game. And
You got to give a game personality.
yeah, just like you have to give a wrestler a personality.